Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Isaac Christopher Lubogo. As we usher in this new month, I would like to talk about something that's extremely important. And it's called toxic friends and negative energy, a lethal combination. Listen, my friend, within the crucible of adversity, we discover the alchemy of self-empowerment. And like a phoenix, we rise from the ashes of what they call toxic relationships, forging our souls into the resilient architects of our own destiny. That's a quotation by Isaac Christopher Lubogo. But even as we'll be discussing this very, very, very important topic, you'll realize that perhaps it's a time to begin gauging or evaluating some of the relationships that you have. Human connections are essential in terms of our emotional well-being, but not all friendships are healthy. Listen, toxic relationships, especially friends and negative energy, can have a profound impact on our mental and physical health. So my intention today is to try to explain some of those harmful relationships and their potential in terms of consequences, and try and discuss some of the solutions that how we can avoid or even overcome them. So why are toxic friends harmful? Because they cause what they call emotional drainage. Sometimes you're clinging on this other friend, you love them, you've probably gone through school with them, but then they drain you emotionally. Toxic friends often drain your emotional energy through constant complaints and drama or negativity. Number two, there are those who give you what they call low esteem. Their criticism and judgment can actually erode your own self-confidence, and it can get to you in such a way that you feel, depressed. They cause stress and anxiety. Constant complaints in terms of negative can actually trigger what they call stress and anxiety. They can also cause what they call poor decisions in terms of your makings. They actually influence you to make what they call poor life choices. And what are some of these consequences? Things like mental health. These toxic friends can actually lead to depression, as I said. They can cause anxiety and even other mental health issues. They even cause what they call physical health. They stress you negatively to the extent that even your immune system can actually weaken, leading to various health problems. You can even cause yourself to be isolated because of the negative energy that's coming from them. You cause yourself to be isolated, and that affects your health in terms of relationship and in terms of your support for purposes of your networking. Now, you have to realize toxic friends. These are people, as I said, who cause constant negativity. They focus on problems rather than solutions. Now, number two, they are manipulative. Some of you have them. They control and manipulate you in order to propagate and even serve their own needs. They don't have empathy. They lack empathy. They're indifferent to your feelings and needs. They're only interested in terms of what they benefit out of relationship. Number four, they are one-sided in terms of relationship. They only reach out when they actually need something. It could even be sexual, emotional, financial, or otherwise. What are some of the solutions? My friends, listen. You have to have what they call a self-reflection. In other words, assess your friendship and recognize toxic patterns. You have to understand, as I said. Number two, communication. Sometimes it's important to address your concerns with your friend. If possible, be direct to them and tell them, listen, my friend, I'm not fine with this issue. It may affect you, but you have made a statement. Set boundaries. Clearly define what your behavior wants to relate. Say, my friend, I'm not comfortable. I'm going to go beyond this. Also, seek support. Reach out to perhaps a therapist or even a counselor or even a motivator. For purposes of guidance, it will help you. And number five, do what they call slow detoxing. Gradually distance yourself from such toxic friends to minimize the shock. I have been there. I know. I had two friends, super good friends. And listen, man, these guys almost drowned me with depression because of the negative energies that kept coming up of them. Some of them don't even do it constructively. They do it because they are not happy with it. So choose wisely the kind of friends you relate with. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it is. Okay? Number three, nurture what they call positive relationship. Invest in friends who uplift you and support you. Not people who simply say good things about you. Welcome constructive criticism, but understand that those who deliberately just want to pull you down. Self-care, prioritize your mental and well-being. Have people who believe in you, encourage you, give you a pat on the back and say, you can do it regardless of how many times And also learn and grow. Use your experiences or even experience of others. Be resilient. Discern the kind of relationship that you're in. That, my friend, will give you the ability to thrive and the ability to fight on. As I said, relationships can either make you or unmake you. Some people can be put in very, very good privileged position because of relationships. So understand that there are those who are meant to help you. Signs of self-toxicity, self-reflection, as I said, assess whether your own behaviors contribute to the toxicity in terms of your friendship. Also seek, as I said, self-improvement. Work on your personal growth in terms of breaking those negative patterns. So many people are at the verge of committing suicide because of disappointment in relationships or friends who have let them down because they have taken long to understand that this is negative energy. Support systems, learn in terms of supporting people. Reach out to family. Yes, some of us may be neglected by family, but there are those who may be one or two who may be there for you. Support groups or guidance in terms of encouragement. Sometimes you have to look for the call professional help. Consider therapy, as I said, or even counseling to cope with that emotional impact. Another very important thing, forgiveness. Dr. King taught us one thing. He said, I found that the burden of hate is such a burden, big burden, than the burden of love. So I choose to love. Forgive. Okay, but when you forgive, don't forget. Forgiving a toxic friend can actually be liberating. It doesn't mean that you should not reopen the door for their negativity. It simply means I have put a stop completely, but I've also learned to deal with them in another way. Closure. Seek closure within yourself rather than relying on closure from the toxic friend. These are things you learn. Even at my age right now, probably, I know I've got people who have negative energy and don't even encourage me at all and pull me down. But I have learned to move on. Move forward is another aspect. Learn from your life lesson. Recognize that what you've learned from this toxic relationship and how it can make you wiser in the future. Also embrace what they call positive change. Use those experiences as motivation to create more positive energy in terms of a fulfillment. Okay, remember that when you end this toxic relationship, it can be changing or it can also be challenging, but it's a brave step towards prioritizing your own well-being. Surround yourself with people who bring the best out of you. Be where you are celebrated, not where you are tolerated. Don't be afraid to seek professional help if it is necessary. Your mental and physical health should always come up first. When you recognize these friends and this negative energy, then your well-being is guaranteed as far as your health is concerned. What are some of the signs that can help you to identify them? Hey, listen, my friend, these are the signs to identify these people. Number one, constant negativity. Toxic friends often focus on problems without even seeking solutions. They complain incessantly. They rarely have anything positive to say about you. And we're not saying that surround yourself with people. I was listening to Barack Obama recently, former president, who is saying that how people who critique you wisely don't have yes. But I'm not against what my friend Barack said. I'm saying be careful with some people who don't know how to critique constructively. Avoid draining energy. If you feel emotionally exhausted or even drained after spending a time with someone, it could be a sign of their negative energy. This energy kind of passes over to you, by what? By osmosis of sorts. So be careful. Lack of support. Toxic friends may actually be unsupportive and even dismissive in terms of your goals. Every time you have an idea, they dismiss it. And they may not even celebrate any of your success. Instead, they undermine your achievements. I had two of those guys I told you. I almost died because of depression because of those two particular individuals. They are sorts of friends now. If I told them to you, they don't know what they did, but now I'm careful how I relate to them. Others are manipulators. They actually manipulate you to get what they want, okay, in terms of your time, in terms of your money, in terms of your emotional support, without even reciprocating. Be careful with some of those. They are simply people who put a siphon in you and want to suck all the energy out of you. Be careful of criticism and judgment. Constant criticism, judgment, belittlement, can erode your self-esteem and indicate that is a toxic relationship. People who simply draw you down, they never compliment you at all, they never celebrate your joys, they are simply there to pull you down. Drama and conflict. If there is any constant drama within your relationship, be careful. It may be a sign of negativity in terms of toxicity. So be careful. Then others who are self-centered. Toxic friends often focus solely on their own needs and rarely consider your feelings or even needs at all. They are simply, only interested in what comes out of you. Even when you do certain things out in genuine goodness and they, which propels them, they still don't look at that. They think it's them who made it without even acknowledging. Be careful. Then there are those who gossip and backstab. If they frequently engage in gossip or speak negatively about you behind your back, it's a clear sign of toxicity. Be careful with such people. There are those even who have what they call one-sided relationship. They might only reach out to you when they actually need something, but are absent when you actually need genuine support. Be careful of such people. Another thing that you have to look out for is those when you're feeling drained, trust your gut feeling. If you constantly feel worse after spending some time, with someone, it's worth examining that relationship. There are people who are like, man, I went there, I spent my time, but man, I feel so drained. I feel like something's not right. Be careful. Those are probably signs. Be careful what they call physical symptoms as well. Negative energy and stress can manifest physically, leading to headaches, digestive issues, and even chronic health problems. Be careful with those physical conditions. Isolation. I don't know how many, even at I think the late Nelson Mandela said he had never been in isolation and depressed when he was with his former wife. Even when you are married, sometimes you feel so isolated. Be careful. Toxic friends can actually try to isolate you from even other positive influences in your life, such as family and friends. They control you, they manipulate you. So if you have noticed some of those signs in relationship, my friend, maybe it's time you begin thinking about that relationship. And I'm not making a provocation and insinuation in terms of you breaking up. I'm only telling you that it is important to be careful with the relationships that we hang out with. Now, whether it means settling boundaries, as I said, or having a conversation with your friend about some of these issues, or even in extreme cases, ending the friendship for your own mental and emotional good, my friend, it may be worth it. So I want to encourage you by asking you to empower yourself against what they call toxic friends and negative energy. As I said, it is essential for your well-being. Now, I'll provide some steps that will help you to overcome in terms of regaining control and protect yourself. As I said, number one, be aware of yourself. Self-awareness. It is only you and only you, my friend, who can recognize and acknowledge the toxicity in a relationship or a situation. In others, trust your instincts and feelings. Some of you are about to commit suicide. Some of you are about to throw yourselves in trouble because of relationship issues. Learn to trust your instincts. Learn to trust yourself. And listen, even though so and so goes, that's not the end of the world. God is about to release other people for you. Number two, set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries to protect your emotional and mental space. Communicate these boundaries assertively but kindly. The word of God says, guard your heart, because out of it comes the issues of life. Another is limit your interaction. Reduce your contact with this other toxic individual, whether it is possible. This can include spending less time with them or even cutting ties if necessary. This particular individual I told you who actually depressed me to the extent that I was feeling so bad, I have decided to keep so low. I rarely talk to them. I don't know if they have noticed, and I'm not dedicating this to them. I'm only telling you to learn lessons. Also, another aspect, seek support. Reach out for supportive friends, family members, even therapists to discuss your feelings and even gain perspective. By the way, listen, this even goes to WhatsApp groups. You can be on a WhatsApp group and people only, the best thing they do is bunch you with negative energies, pull you down. There's one where I forced myself to exit. Others will even make you exit. Don't feel bad when they exit you. That's just one small step. Some of them call themselves, the kings or queens of WhatsApp groups, and they begin saying junk about you. Every time you post something, they put you down. Have a positive affirmation about yourself. Use your positive affirmation to boost your self-esteem and counteract all those negative self-talk. I tried even on WhatsApp group to get in good, tandem with some of these guys, and they don't give a damn. I even called them. I said, why are you bashing me? They don't give a damn, because they're probably paid or they're just not comfortable with what you're saying. There are people who will never be happy with you. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. Ground yourself in present moment, in moments, and manage your stress effectively. Also importantly, develop resiliency. Build what they call emotional resiliency. To better cope with your negativity in terms of adversity. Focus on personal growth and learning from difficult experiences. Even, by the way, everywhere in the world, even sometimes when I've been traveling across, you see people who pull you down, and because you're in their territory, or because you're in their homes, or in their schools, or in their hotels, they pull you down. Have supportive network. There are those who believe in you, believe in them, encourage them, uplift them, support them. Surround yourself with positivity. Remember, the word of God says, what you do for another man, God will do for you. Speak up is another important. It is safe and appropriate. Express your feelings and concern about this toxic friend. Be honest in terms of communication. It may lead to resolution or closure, but sometimes it makes the point. There is a relationship I know of a woman who had a man who had a woman. Every time she was cooking very, very bad food, you know, and this guy was dying with depression. He couldn't even tell it. Then one time they invited a friend, and the friend, you know, and the wife cooked the food, and the friend ate, and the wife asked, how do you like the food? And the friend said, by the way, it's the worst meal I've ever eaten. And the man burst with jubilation and said, hallelujah, you have just said it for me. I've been dying to say this for the rest of my life. Listen, sometimes you have to assert yourself, reflect and learn. Reflect on what you have learned from your experience and how you can avoid that situation in terms of future. Use it as an opportunity for your personal growth. Remember that. Now, remember that empowering yourself against toxic friends and even negative energy is sometimes a gradual process. I have done it gradually, and it may take time and effort, but it becomes an essential step towards preserving your mental, as I said, and emotional well-being, and building a more positive and fulfilling life. Listen, my friend, in conclusion, this is what I gotta say. I gotta say this. Toxic friends and negative energy can indeed have a lethal, listen to the word, lethal impact on your life, affecting both your mental and physical health. I had a relative one time who never believed in me, who kept pulling me down left, right, and center. Today they celebrate me. Every now I go, they're like, oh, my son, my son, my son. They forget what they said 1,000, years ago, to use that word metaphorically. But you see, the point I'm trying to say is that recognize these toxic relationships, taking steps to avoid and overcome them, and nurturing what they call positive connections that are essential for your well-being. Remember, you have the power to choose the relationship that enriches your life rather than diminish it. Listen, my friend, be blessed. My name, once again, is Isaac Christopher Lubogo. God bless. Find masterworks at lubogo.org and suigeneris.com. God bless.